Welcome in, everybody. My name is Miles. I go by GK the Trader. I've been trading for over 5 years now, okay? And I want to do something that I've never done before, and that is actually walk you guys through the entire week, showing you, what, like a week in the life type of thing, but actually trading. Like, what actually goes into trading, how is it conducted on a live basis, and we're going to be just going through Monday through Friday, giving you updates and just showing you what actually goes into it, okay? And the reality and realistic approach to it, rather than just trying to get on here and sell you some type of course or something, okay? So grab a snack, sit down, strap in. It's going to be a good one, okay? If you do take notes, you're going to be doing yourself a great service, and I'll see you guys on the other side. So today is Monday, starting right out of the gate. I'm actually completely avoiding the markets today, and it's for several reasons, and I can get on the charts and show you and whatnot, but I'm just avoiding the markets. Knowing when to thrive, right? Knowing when to really push it versus when to kind of step back is a really important skill that I wish I had 5 years ago. And I could have just told myself, like, hey, you don't have to trade every single day. It only takes 1 to 2 good setups per week to actually make a lot of money. I wish I knew all that stuff, but now I know. And that's why I'm avoiding the markets here today. And I'll see you guys on Tuesday. All right, so actually on the charts here now for Monday, you can see the current PA that we're inside of. It's really trappy and just really highly manipulated, and kind of shows now after the fact why I was saying I was avoiding today's PA. While I was avoiding today's PA. And it's really a simple thing, guys. Okay, it's not complicated. We're going to go to the 4-hour chart. All I'm looking for to identify low quality price action beforehand is I'm watching where we opened up on Sunday. I'm considering the day of the week. All I'm doing is I'm finding that Sunday opening, okay, and I'm looking where we're at relative to the daily range, and also considering what day of week it is. So in this case here, we're opening in the middle of a long-winded daily range on a Monday. It is really that simple. That right there is typically problematic, okay, and something that I look to avoid. Not to mention, when I start looking at the 9:30 opening, okay, all it does, right, is consolidate for hours on end, and then we just have one sudden straight shot right out of the 9:30 opening. A lot of times when I see that on a Monday, combined with us being in the middle of a range, okay, I just completely avoid it. I don't look to trade it, and that's it. All right, guys, it is now Tuesday, day number 2 of me walking you guys through the entire week of a day-by-day breakdown of what I actually do and how I get into these markets to consistently make ends meet. So as for today, I mean, it was a pretty good day. I couldn't have asked for a better price action, to be honest. It was pretty good. Back-to-back models performing my specific model, and, come out on top making ends meet once more. So before I give you guys the rundown and breakdown of what I actually did live with the team here today, I'm going to go ahead and post a couple clips here to showing you the P&L, the executions, and my actual lifetime commentary in the private mentorship, right? Me explaining the why, the how, and the when, and all that good stuff, and what actually makes this skill set so highly effective. So once again, this thing looks bullish to me. I'm not trying to be a contrarian right now. If I was trying to do that, I would have told you so. But you can see here now how we run down below sell side. Price rises up, smashes through this opposing up candle, drives down, uses it as support initially. Okay, plus this Fairvalue gap. And then we have this trend line resting above us. Now, if I had to tell you exactly where price was going to go right now, I'm not interested typically in trading stuff like this. I'm not going to, at least for now. But if I just had to tell you, and I had a gun to my head right now, okay, where the hell is price going? Let me know. I would say above these highs here. Now, does that mean I'm going to put my live funds in it? No. I'm going to watch price, study it. But, you can see how problematic price is. We ran into a range, ran up, ran back down, up, down, just kind of a back and forth kind of chop fest, right? But if I had to tell you where price was going to go, and it was a life or death situation, I would say, okay, boom, triple top. So I got to say, what we're watching right now, okay, right here, that Fairvalue gap plus up candle, this right here quite literally is model number 4. Would not try to hunt shorts in the PM session, to be completely honest with you. I would look for some type of hourly gap to be formed like right here, right? And let's say that that hourly gap was delivered. Okay, once this candle closes. And then, obviously once again, price drives down into that. I would hunt some type of model 4 inside of that, similar to what I just showed you guys real time, right, on a PM session continuation. So I would not, once again, would not try to hunt shorts. All right, so playing off that recording, you can really look in your own charts and see that I got what I wanted, basically. So scaling down, you're going to see, like, we did get the PM session continuation longs, but the thing is look what it did afterwards. It really dropped off. Okay, and this is why, number one, compounding is very important, but also going for low-hanging fruit. Not always trying to get huge moves. There's time for that, but you don't have to catch huge moves to make a lot of money. All you need is consistency in one repeating model. If I can go back and just grip myself up, tell myself, you know, to stop overcomplicating it, strip it down to one simple model and follow that model strictly, okay? And that would set me free, then I would have reached profitability a lot quicker. So just focusing on one very specific thing, and that in this case here was quite literally model number 4. That's something that I teach and trade weekly with my members. So really just a textbook model number 4 that took place. Now I can get in here and show you guys all the stuff on the chart, but really the important part that I can sit here and tell you guys is the way I was able to get paid today was for one very specific reason. It's because I allowed my model that I've done thousands and thousands of hours of data and research on and lifetime study, I allowed it to come naturally. Nothing was forced. I wasn't staring at the charts for hours on end and, forcing anything. Everything just flowed natural. All right, as soon as I saw my model, light bulbs were flickering, and I immediately said, yes, take my money. I want to be inside of this marketplace. I get in, get out, and that is how it is truly done. Now, the power of compounding, I'm going to go back on that because I mentioned it, is number one, you can stack up accounts. If you're trading funded accounts, you can stack up. So in this example here, I took a trade for $600. However, I'm trading that on 5 accounts. Okay, so you can always multiply that by 5. And so really what it's doing is it's making going for low-hanging fruit targets a lot easier because you're making more money, right, by having multiple accounts. Or just the classic way of consistently gaining more equity, right, and just increasing your risk as your equity rises. Not randomly increasing your risk. That's how you blow your account if you try to do that too early, but sizing up when it's necessary as your equity rises. And all you're going to be doing is making more money on the same exact low-hanging fruit trade that makes sense to you. So that's going to be a wrap here for this discussion here on this Tuesday, day number 2. I will see you guys tomorrow, Wednesday, for day number 3. All right, good morning, guys. It is Wednesday, day number 3. Brand new day, brand new opportunity to make something happen. And that's really the thing. Like, I mean, if you make a mistake or you do something wrong or, you just get set back a little bit, don't allow it to weigh on you too much, okay? Because the thing about it is the sun is always going to shine on a brand new day and give you a fresh new, every day is a new opportunity, okay? So just kind of out here getting some sun, taking a walk before I start my live stream, and I'll see you guys on the other side. All right, day number 3 is complete. Wednesday. Welcome back, guys. Looking at the chart right here, right now, we have ourselves a good old classic seek and destroy. And the question is, oh, you were live streaming today. What happened? Did you blow your account? I'm happy to report that we stayed true to the plan. We remained patient, we remained disciplined, we remained established in our ways, and exercised our edge by avoiding this. Okay, because really, anytime we get into the marketplace, especially with my approach, there's only 1 or 2 things that you can really be happening. Number 1, you're actually executing on your edge with that repeating phenomenon that you know works, okay, because you've seen it repeat over and over again. Or you're simply just playing guesswork and essentially flipping a coin and gambling. Okay, so with my system, I simply would have just been gambling and would have been no better than me flipping a coin in this type of PA. Okay, when every single high and low is being taken out, that was what we classify as seek and destroy, and that disinterests me. And so this day right here is really just another prime example of one of the core, most key elements to profitable trading, which is you don't have to trade every single day. In fact, you shouldn't really trade every single day. It only takes 1 to 3 good setups per week. If you know how to really pick your shots wisely and you actually know what you're looking for, 1 to 3 setups per week with consistent compounding with equity will make you absolutely a millionaire. All right. So I know there is a lot of false information out there. A lot of social media gurus, they make it seem like you need to have excessive screen time. You need to look at the charts for hours on end. You need to take 5 trades a day and blow 5 funded accounts to get 1 payout. You don't have to do any of that stuff. Okay, if you just simply relax, strip it down to one simple model, okay, and wait for that one repeating phenomenon that you picked up on through live price, okay, that is what's going to set you free. Okay, Get into the marketplace when you see your edge, execute it, and stay out when we get stuff like this. Okay? So that's pretty much it, guys. That's how my Wednesday went. I walked through this thing with absolutely zero emotion. We closed up at about 11 a.m. because it just wasn't worth it. No reason to stare at the screens whenever the market's moving like this. And what do we do now? We move on to the next day with anticipation of doing greater things. Okay, because anytime the market consolidates like this, typically that leads to a big move the next day. So day number 3 in the books, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 4. All right, it is Thursday, day number 4. We made it. It's been a wild ride, but a very, very rewarding one. And allow me to tell you another story of the Nasdaq, chapter number 4 of this week, here on Thursday, June 5th. Now, here's the deal about today. It essentially was the same exact thing as yesterday, except this was on steroids, right? The only difference of today was this had a lot more volatility to it. Okay, so every single high and low being banged out. That's essentially what we had going on here today. So we started off our day as normal as ever. We got on our live stream. We started studying price, started to look to see if we can carve something out of this market. And then all of a sudden we get this right here. So let's zoom in a little bit. All right, and let's go to the 1-minute chart. You're going to see here that we had this candle right here, right at 8:49. A discussion between Trump and China leads into over 150 handles in a 1-minute candle. Okay, so as soon as I saw that, I automatically knew that we were in for some type of different price action here today. So fast forwarding, I was actively telling my members, okay, relax, don't get emotional, like just let this pass by, let the dust settle. We did exactly that. We end up in some type of high resistant range to the downside, right? Banging back and forth, and all of a sudden the light bulbs start flaring right here. Okay, we get a huge influx to the upside, basically creating all the mechanics that we needed for our model number 3, which I teach every single day and trade it. And then we get this. Okay, we get a huge run up, no retracement, no entry, and then it just smashes the whole way back down with another 70 handles, right? So it completely erases this in the matter of nearly 5 candles on the 1-minute chart. And then we smash up higher, smash back down, and as soon as I saw that, as soon as I saw all this going on right at 10:40, I cut the screens off, I cut the stream, I told everyone to enjoy their day, and that was it. Okay, not only did we have this type of craziness, right, highly manipulated, really easy to get stopped out if you're forcing something, but we also had NFP tomorrow. So I'm understanding that that's just really not a formula for things to really go my way. Okay, now when it gets even more interesting, just when you thought it couldn't, we fast forward as I'm off the charts. Okay, I went out with my wife and daughter. We went out to eat, did some shopping, and I come back after the fact, and I find something oddly A+ textbook in the form of our model number 3. Okay, so this is when things got really interesting. Immediately when I looked in, within seconds, I automatically knew I missed my A+ textbook model. I automatically knew it. Okay, but the important part of this segment here is you cannot allow the markets to control you. Way too many people in this industry allow these markets to literally have them on a string and control them emotionally. You miss a move, oh, you can't handle that. So all of a sudden you start trading outside of your strategy. You start going off the rails because you missed a move and you can't believe it and you can't handle it. My brother or sister, you are going to miss moves. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Do it again and again and again and again. But it doesn't matter. The setups are always going to be there, but sometimes they're just going to perform when you're not on the charts, and you need to be accepting of that, just like you need to be accepting of a loss, right? You need to react with the utmost positivity to every single loss and understand that all that is a short-term adversity to something greater. Okay, utilize the losses to your advantage, or utilize missed moves to your advantage. Collect this to your data. Note it down, right? Add it to your logs. And understand that this right here repeats a ridiculous amount of times. At the very minimum, this setup right here, you're going to get that 3 times a week. So this right here is a repeating phenomenon in price. This is the type of stuff that truly gives me an edge in this marketplace and why I'm sustainably profitable consistently in the first place. Setups like these on a time-based scale at a very specific hunting window that I teach, a very simple mechanics, very specific targets, right? All that stuff is taught, but you have to be patient for it. And once again, it goes back to being emotionally completely in control. You control your equity curve on a long-term basis. The markets do not control you. You have to be in that mindset and be in a positive one as well. If you're a person that's constantly thinking, oh, what if my stop loss gets hit? What if this happens? What if this goes wrong? You cannot be in that mindset. In fact, it needs to be the opposite. Oh, what if I follow my plan for 6 months? Or what if I stay disciplined and do what I said I was going to do consistently for 30 days? Think about that. Like, what can go right if you do certain things? What will go right? Be in that mindset. So following all this, right, we went through a crazy manipulated day. I closed the charts, I remained disciplined, stayed true to the plan, come back, look in hindsight, and see that my beautiful model took place. There was only one thing running through my mind, and that was reminiscing on that very day where I sat there and told myself, listen, I don't know what it is weighing in on me that's making me rush the process. I don't know what's weighing in on me, making me do things that I normally wouldn't do. I don't know what's weighing in on me, making me trade outside of my plan. I don't know what's weighing in on me and allowing me to be emotionally impulsive and delay my growth. I don't know what's weighing in on me to not allow me to consistently follow my plan like I said I was going to do the last time, but didn't. But I'm not giving into it anymore. And the day I told myself that and actually took control, real control, is the day my life changed completely and entirely. Eventually, fast forward, was able to quit my job, and it was not none of that stuff. Like, I didn't quit my job, I didn't buy a car, I didn't buy a house, I didn't do any of that stuff by being perfect. There's always going to be imperfection along the road. You're always going to have losses. You're going to miss moves. You're going to you're going to get it wrong. Okay, your ego will be tested sometimes. You will be tested in general. But the only ones that succeed are the ones that prosper through that, right? Persevere through that. Take it to the chin, move forward, continuously and assertively and with confidence execute that plan, walking through it without emotion. Once again, separating the investor from the emotions. All right? Stay on the path. Stay on the path no matter what. You take a loss, cool. Move forward. Stay on the path, and you, sir or woman, will get everything that you've been seeking for and deserve. But it's a brand new day here on Thursday. We just had an 8:30 news release. Still have the same draw on liquidity as yesterday. I still don't see any reason to try and get short. Now, another thing I want you guys to take note of is notice how we're doing this. Okay, so we're generating relative highs above, and now we're driving down into this volume imbalance. So, I mean, really ridiculously obvious draw in my eyes. All right, just gotta remain patient for that actual entry model because, me longing here wouldn't particularly make sense. Okay, we did have the 8:30 manipulation, but the wick is just humongous. So I need price to really prove that it doesn't really care about this and wants to leave it. Okay, and just tag the high end right here. All right, so now I'm watching this for rag out. Oh wow, would you look at that, guys? 849. So, I mean, someone can enlighten me on what just dropped right now. That would be nice. That's insane. I mean, wow. I'm not aware of any news driver right here, guys. So, any chance of me getting long was just smoked now in a matter of seconds with this random news rate at 8:49 a.m. So, all right, guys, day number 5. We made it to the end of the week, Friday. Another very interesting day in and of itself. Closing the week off very strongly. All right. And before I break down to you guys the trade that I took, everything that went down, I'm going to go ahead and pop on the actual live recording of this and also accompany that by broker statements just to show you the real deal. Okay. pattern. Now, what do I do here? Do I chase the short selling? No, I don't. I understand that we just hit a key pool of liquidity, and we have a lot of highs generated above us, so I could potentially look to target back higher. Longs look optimal here. The draw is just way too strong. Okay, I'm going to take this on half of my initial risk. This looks good to me. The highs look pretty primed. I'm going to keep my stop loss below this down candle. So this looks good to me. I'm not going to take it on a full Nasdaq contract, but it is pretty clean. So I'm going to look to target this high and then just be done. Pretty textbook model number 4 right here, I will say, firsthand. And then the entry was right on this down candle. So pretty good entry. That was a model number 2 in case you missed it. Oh, wait a minute. I'm just going to let it breathe, let it pan out. Convicted in the draw. And let the candles paint. Everything else in between is noise. Okay, stalling a little bit, but once again, I don't care what it does in between the trade. It's all noise. I'm letting it pan out, whether, no matter what it does. Okay, patience. All right, so small little natural retracement here. I'm not panicking. I'm not worrying about it. Okay, just simply letting the trade pan out. And once again, was risking how much I was willing to lose and trusting the model. Okay, just staying patient, letting it pan out. Notice how it returns back to the model 2 down candle. Okay, should hold that. Okay, notice how it's further generating even more relatively equal highs. So, I mean, I'd be quite surprised if it didn't smash through all this. What goes to my mind? Nothing. I just trust the process and understand that short-term P&L means absolutely nothing unless you react poorly to it and you let the thing pan out, let price breathe, just be patient, and trust the long-term process no matter what happens on a short-term basis. I mean, literally just gets ever so close to the highs there and then drops off. So, once again, I'm holding. I'm not closing anything. Here's that 5-minute gap delivered, by the way. This looks way too ridiculously clean. I mean, if I was really aggressive today, I would even consider adding right there. But obviously, on a day like this, I'm not being assertive with my risk. So it looks like ES drove down as well. Oh, he finally took a trade. You're right. Yes, I saw the model and I took it. That's what's going to happen. When the model doesn't perform, I don't trade. When the model performs, I trade. It's simple. I know it's going to pump the highs. I just can't promise you guys when it's actually going to pump above the highs. That's all. Right there, that's more so what we were looking for. That's good. Okay, nice assertive move to the upside. We want to see this continue now. Okay, delivered out of the 5-minute gap, so it really needs to smash up there now. Oh, are we getting the Trump candle? I'm going break even. I'm going break even right now. And okay, I just made an absolute bag. Oh my goodness. So looking at the charts here today on this Friday, you can see it's not really, once again, not really that clean 100%. Okay, but we're still able to navigate and find our way by following the model. Patience was the utmost priority this week, especially when we have mass manipulation like days like this. We fast forward, and once more we find ourselves just like Tuesday, right back at the model. So this right here was the trade that we took. Okay, and just what it comes down to, it's a really simple thing. Okay, I'm looking for some type of higher time frame gap on the 15 or hourly chart. In this case, that was this one right here. Okay, we got above that, drop down, use it as support, and once I see that, okay, now I'm scaling down to see how we react up off that price point. But the key is I need some type of sell side raid inside of that 15-minute gap that you see here, the tangent area, and that was right here. Boom. So immediately I had the first 2 components to one of 4 of my highest quality models, and that is the sell side raid inside of that fair value gap. The third step is to have an obvious opposing draw. If you take a look here, you're going to see all these stacked highs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Way too smooth. Anytime you see this smooth over top, 90% of the time with the proper context, that is getting blown off. So, having all 3 of these components, then there's one thing missing. Time. Kill zone. That is going to be 9:30 to 11:10 New York time. We execute with assertiveness, and as you can see, the result, we end the week up $5,000 with utilization of copy trading. It's a beautiful thing. Patience pays off. Reject instant gratification. Submit to the process. Show up every single day, and that is the way and the pathway to your freedom. Okay, not by chasing every single move, not by taking 100 trades a week, not by blowing 10 accounts just to, finally get a payout. You don't have to do any of that stuff. Stay on the path, stay true to the mission, no matter what price action throws your way. This was not an easy week by any means, not even in the slightest. It was not an easy week. However, I still get paid as if it was easy by staying true to that plan and not trading outside of it, no matter what the short-term circumstance was. So I very much so hope you guys found some usefulness out of this video, some knowledge, or whatever the case may be. If you found some positivity out of this, smash that like button. And if you want more out of this, just comment down below. And if you would like to learn more, have further questions, okay, that is going to be in my Discord. I'll put the link to it down in the bio. Completely free, the chat, everything. Ask me whatever you want. I'm here for you. And I'll see you guys in the next one.